Instant coffee seems harmless, quick, convenient. Just add hot water and you have your morning cup. But for seniors, that simple jar on your kitchen counter could be hiding serious dangers, from glass shards discovered in recent batches to cancer-linked chemicals hiding in every granule, to additives that spike your blood pressure without warning. Today, we are exposing 9 instant coffee brands to avoid at all costs, and the 2 that are actually worth your trust. Remaining at number 9, we add Clover Instant Coffee. If you shop at Dollar General, you might recognize this familiar orange jar sitting on the shelf. The brand promises an affordable, convenient morning coffee. Simple and budget-friendly. What could possibly go wrong with instant coffee granules that cost less than a fast food meal? For millions of seniors on fixed incomes, store brands like Clover Valley represent an attractive way to stretch their grocery dollars. Here is what they did not tell you. In August 2023, the FDA issued an urgent recall affecting 3 separate lots of Clover Valley instant coffee across 48 states. The reason? Potential glass contamination. That is right. Customers were potentially drinking coffee with tiny glass fragments suspended in every cup. The FDA issued a stark warning stating that ingesting glass fragments may cause injury to the consumer, and these injuries may include damage to teeth, laceration of the mouth and throat, or perforation of the intestine. Think about that for a moment. You wake up, you shuffle to the kitchen, you pour hot water over that innocent-looking bound granules. You take that first warm sip, and hidden inside could be invisible shards of glass cutting through your throat, your stomach, your intestines. For seniors, especially those on blood thinners or with digestive sensitivities, a perforation of the intestine can be life-threatening. What should be a simple morning ritual could end with emergency surgery. The warm, comforting aroma of coffee masking something far more sinister. The recall affected lots distributed between July 9th and July 21st, 2025, sold exclusively in Dollar General stores. Dollar General stated they were actively investigating the source of the contamination. But here is the troubling question. How did glass end up in coffee in the first place? What other contamination might have slipped through undetected? How many jars were consumed before anyone noticed the problem? The promise was simple: affordable coffee. The reality was a product that could literally tear through your insides. If you have a jar of Clover Valley instant coffee, jet the lot lovers immediately. And if you are a senior with any digestive issues or on medications that affect bleeding, this could have been catastrophic. Sometimes the cheapest option cost you the most. At number 8, we have Folgers Instant Coffee. Folgers, the brand that has been American kitchens for generations. The one you parents proudly drink. The one with the catchy jingle about the best part of waking up. They promise that classic rich coffee taste delivered on convenient Christopher on Rome beans. Good to the last drop. Sounds awesome, right? The red canister practically screams tradition and reliability. But pull back the curtain and you will find something far more disturbing. Consumer complaint after consumer complaint has piled up online from customers reporting that Folgers instant coffee is making them sick. Stomach aches, nausea, cramping so severe they cannot leave the bathroom. And perhaps most alarming for seniors, instant migraines that last for hours. These are not vague complaints. These are detailed accounts from people who trusted a brand for years, only to kind of sounds doubled over in pound. One customer wrote, "I have been a faithful Folgers coffee drinker for years. Today, I thought I would blog to see if there were others who were having my same experience, stomach issues. I discovered there were many others. The sheer volume of similar stories should raise alarm bells." Another stated, "Extreme nausea after drinking this Folgers. Something is very wrong. These voices deserve to be heard." The company does not offer organic varieties, meaning their coffee supply chain uses pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides with high distraction. For seniors managing kidney health, chronic conditions, or taking multiple medications, introducing unknown chemical residues into your morning routine is playing with fire. Your kidneys already work overtime filtering medications. Adding pesticide residues to the mix puts even more strain on organs that are already compromised. Every additional chemical is another burden your body has to process. And when customers reach out to Folgers with their concerns, when report receiving no response at all. Silence. The brand that promises to be the best part of waking up apparently has nothing to say when their product sends loyal customers running to the bathroom or clutching their heads in pain. Decades of loyalty met with radio silence. The coffee sits in pre-ground form, exposed to air and moisture, creating the perfect environment for mold development. Studies show that over 90% of commercial coffee is contaminated with mold to some degree. And instant coffee, because of its instant process and in storage time, is particularly vulnerable. For seniors with respiratory issues or compromised immune systems, even trace amounts of mold can trigger inflammatory responses. That musty smell you might dismiss as just old coffee could be something far more concerning. Isn't it strange how billion-dollar food companies keep having consumer complaints pile up, yet their products are still on every shelf? Now at number 7, we have Maxwell House Instant Coffee. Good till last dwelp. Nat is what Maxwell House ins promised in nark instant before most us were born. Another iconic brand, another trusted name, another jar that seems perfectly safe sitting in your pantry. The blue container has been a kitchen staple for generations. The betrayal here runs deep. Customer complaints about Maxwell House have reached alarming levels. Dozens of people report the exact same symptoms. Severe stomach issues, debilitating headaches that appear within hours of drinking the coffee, skin reactions that come out of nowhere, and the pattern is unmistakable. These are not random coincidences. These are consistent, repeated experiences from different people in different locations, all pointing to the same source. One customer described their experience this way. Tried Maxwell House a few weeks ago and started getting daily long-term headaches. Tried it again yesterday thinking maybe I had a cold, but instead I got instant 8-hour migraines. I am thinking chemicals. Nothing gives me instant migraines. Maybe the insecticides or something. I would stay away from this stuff. It is going the tried. 8-hour migraines. From coughing. Another wrote, when I drink Maxwell House Original Roast, the whole area of my nose and around my nose skin peels. Skin literally peeling from drinking coffee. That is not a normal reaction to a beverage. These are not isolated incidents. These are patterns. And what is Maxwell House's response when loyal customers reach out? According to multiple reports, the company does not reply. No investigation, no concern, no acknowledgement that something no knowledge, just silence in the face of sumprin. For seniors managing high blood pressure, this matters enormously. A study published in Hypertension Journal found that instant coffee consumption in hypertensive older adults caused significant increases in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. We are talking about a 4.8 mm of mercury rise in systolic and 3.0 mm of mercury rise in diastolic pressure. For someone already struggling to keep their numbers in check, that could be the difference between controlled and uncontrolled hypertension. That could be the difference between staying home and going to the emergency room. Maxwell House uses a blend of Arabica and Robusta beans. Robusta has been shown to contain higher levels of mycotoxins, those invisible toxic compounds produced by mold that accumulate in your body over time. And their decaffeination process? While they claim it is natural, the process is not chemical-free. Methylene chloride, a compound also used in paint removers, is commonly used in decaffeination. The FDA allows up to 10 parts per million to remain in your decaf coffee. Paint remover chemicals in your morning cup. They promised good to the last drop. For many customers, what they actually delivered with sickness, headaches, and silence when complaints rolled in. Most people never learn what is actually causing their morning headaches, their unexplained stomach issues, their blood pressure spikes. They blame age. They blame stress. They never think to look at that jar of instant coffee they drink every single day. But we are going to break it all down at the end of this video, including the 2 brands that are actually safe to drink. Stick around. Number 6 on our list is Nescafe 3-in-1 Instant Coffee Mixes. Nescafe, one of the most consumed coffee brands on the planet. Thousands cups are consumed every thicket worldwide. I promise convenience. Just tear open a packet, add hot water, and enjoy a creamy, sweet cup of coffee without any fuss. It sounds perfect for busy mornings or for seniors who want something simple. No measuring, no mess, just pour and enjoy. But flip that packet over and read the ingredients label. What you find should make you put it down immediately. Here is what is actually in a Nescafe 3-in-1 packet. Sugar, glucose syrup, hardened palm oil, instant coffee at only 7.9%, caramelized sugar, stabilizers, milk partit, salt, maltodextrin, emulsifier, natural and artificial flavoring. That is a long list of ingredients for something marketed as coffee. Did you catch that? The actual coffee is less than 8% of what is in that packet. You are not drinking coffee. You are drinking a sugar delivery system with a hint of coffee flavor. Less than 1/10 of that packet is what you actually came for. Ingredients are listed in descending order by weight. Sugar is first. That means there is more sugar in that packet than anything else. For seniors managing diabetes or prediabetes, this is a disaster waiting to happen. One packet can cause blood sugar spikes that throw your entire day off balance. Your doctor tells you to watch your sugar intake, and here you are unknowingly consuming sugar disguised as coffee. And hardened palm oil? That is hydrogenated oil. Trans fats, the same kind of fat that has been linked to increased LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol that clogs your arteries and increases heart attack risk. If you are on cholesterol medication or managing heart disease, adding hydrogenated oils to your morning routine is working against everything your doctor is trying to accomplish. You are taking pills to lower your cholesterol while drinking something that raises it. Maltodextrin is another concerning ingredient. It is a highly processed carbohydrate that spikes blood sugar faster than table sugar. For anyone with insulin resistance or diabetes indication, this is essentially sabotaging your health with every sip. The sweetness masks the danger. A Hong Kong Consumer Council study tested 49 coffee products and found that 47 contained acrylamide, a cancer-linked compound. Instant coffee samples showed the highest acrylamide content, ranging from 160 to 790 micrograms per kilogram. While these levels comply with European Union benchmarks, the question remains, why should seniors be consuming any the quotable questions when safer options exist? Why accept any level of cancer risk in your morning routine? The brand promises convenience and great taste. The reality is a chemical cocktail disguised as coffee that attacks your blood sugar, your cholesterol, and your long-term health with every packet. If this helps you stay safer at the store, hit subscribe. It is free, and it means you will never miss these exposés. We research so you do not have to. Moving to number 5, we have Great Value Instant Coffee. Walmart's Sorbrai. Great value. The name itself promises exactly what budget-conscious seniors are looking for: quality at an affordable price. Why pay more for fancy brands when this one does the same job, right? It sits right there on the shelf next to the more expensive options, practically begging you to save a few dollars. Here is the problem. When the price drops that low, something else drops too. Quality control, testing, transparency. Those savings come from somewhere, and it is usually from the parts of production you can't see. Great Value Instant Comfy offers no organic hard shove. There is no third-party testing for mold or mycotoxins. There is no certification for pesticide-free beans. There is no traceability to where the beans were actually grown or how they were processed. You have no idea what farm those beans came from or what chemicals touched them. You are essentially drinking a mystery product, and for a commodity as vulnerable to contamination as coffee, that mystery can turn dangerous fast. Trust should be earned, not assumed. Coffee beans travel thousands of miles from tropical farms to processing facilities to warehouses to store shelves. At every single point along that journey, they are vulnerable to mold growth, especially in humid shipping containers crossing oceans. Studies have shown that improper storage during transit creates ideal conditions for mycotoxin development. These are not visible. You cannot smell them, you cannot taste them, but they are there, accumulating in your body with every cup. For seniors, mycotoxin exposure is particularly concerning. These toxic compounds have been linked to immune suppression, inflammation, and long-term health complications. If you are already managing chronic conditions, adding invisible toxins to your daily routine makes everything harder. Your body is already fighting. Mycotoxins make it fight even harder. They drain energy and resources your body needs for other battles. Great Value coffee is also pre-ground and stored for extended periods before reaching your kitchen. This extended shelf-time allows for oxidation and staleness. More concerning, it provides more opportunity for mold spores to proliferate. That jar might have been sitting in a warehouse for months before you ever opened it. The brand promises great value. What they actually deliver is an untested, unverified product with no transparency about sourcing, processing, or safety. When you are talking about something you consume every single day, that gamble is not worth taking. Why is it ours the chapen spoons that sing to cause the nose tooth purples? Coincidence or something more? What is the worst instant coffee you have ever tried? Drop it in the comments below. We want to hear your stories. At number 4, we have Caffè Bustelo Instant Espresso. Caffè Bustelo has built a reputation on bold, strong Latin espresso flavor. The bright yellow can is iconic. You see it in bodegas, grocery stores, and kitchen counters across America. The brand promises authentic Cuban-style coffee intensity, instant format. For seniors who love a robust cup, remember that strong kick from their younger years, this seems like the perfect choice, but intensity comes with a cost. Caffè Bustelo Instant contains some of the highest caffeine concentrations among instant coffees for seniors managing blood pressure. This is a serious concern. Research from the American Heart Association shows that heavy coffee consumption in people with severely high blood pressure could double the risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. That statistic deserves to sink in. Let that sink in. Double the risk, not a small increase. Double. A morning cup of coffee can raise your blood pressure by up to 10 millimeters of mercury. That spike typically lasts up to 3 hours. For someone with uncontrolled hypertension, that could push readings into dangerous territory. A second cup extends and amplifies the effect. By lunchtime, you have spent the entire morning with elevated blood pressure without even realizing it. Caffè Bustelo is also made from Robusta beans, which naturally contain more caffeine and more potential mycotoxins than Arabica varieties. The dark roast may mask some bitterness, but it does not eliminate the underlying risks of a bean variety more prone to contamination. The bold flavor hides what is actually inside. The brand offers no organic certification, no testing for mold or mycotoxins, no transparency about their processing or sourcing. For something marketed as bold and authentic, there is a lot they are not telling you. Authenticity should include authentic honesty about what is in the product. And the instant version? The processing involved in creating instant coffee granules involves additional heat and spray drain that can actually increase acrylamide formation. Studies show that instant coffee has twice the level of acrylamide as freshly ground coffee. A 2013 Polish study found instant coffee contained 358 micrograms per kilogram compared to 179 in fresh coffee. The convenience of instant comes with an invisible chemical cost. The promise was bold, authentic espresso. The reality is a high caffeine, high acrylamide, untestopromic that could push your cardiovascular system to its limits. Number 3 brings us to Taster's Choice by Nescafé. Nescafé appears again on our list, this time with their Taster's Choice line. Marketed as a premium instant coffee, Taster's Choice promises rich, smooth flavor made from quality beans. The sleek packaging suggests sophistication. The price point suggests you are getting something better. This is supposed to be the upscale option. But are you? Nescafé, the parent company, has been criticized for not offering organic certified coffees across their instant lines. This means their beans may contain chemical residues from pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides used during cultivation. For seniors taking multiple medications, introducing additional chemicals creates unpredictable interactions. Your liver is already processing your prescriptions. Adding pesticide residues increases the toxic load it has to manage. Your body becomes a chemistry experiment with unknown outcomes. The additives in various Taster's Choice products raise additional concerns. Maltodextrin is commonly included. So are hydrogenated oils and artificial flavors. These are not just flavor enhancers. They are processed chemicals your body was never designed to handle daily. They were invented in laboratories, not grown on farms. A recent genetic study published in Food Science and Nutrition found something shocking. Instant coffee consumption is genetically linked to a 6.92-fold increased risk of dry, age-related macular degeneration. That is nearly 7 times the risk of developing a leading cause of vision loss in seniors, 7 times the risk of going blind. The researchers concluded that instant coffee may contain acrylamide, oxidized lipids, and other compounds not present in fresh brews. These compounds contribute to oxidative stress and inflammatory responses in retinal cells. For seniors already at risk for AMD, drinking instant coffee could accelerate the path to blindness. Your morning cup could be stealing your eyesight one sip at a time. The study specifically recommended that people at high risk for AMD should avoid instant coffee entirely and opt for fresh brews instead. Yet, Taster's Choice continues marketing itself as a sophisticated choice for discerning coffee drinkers. The marketing tells one story, the science tells another. The promise was premium quality. The science suggests it may be costing you your eyesight. Do you think the companies selling you these products know about these studies? Of course they do. They have entire research departments. They track every scientific publication in their industry, but they are counting on you not finding out. They are betting on your trust. Look around to the very end. We will reveal the 2 instant coffees that have actually been tested and proven safe. The solution is coming, but only at the end. At number 2, we have Sanka Decaffeinated Instant Coffee. For decades, Sanka has been the go-to decaf for seniors who want the coffee taste without the caffeine jitters. It promises all the comfort of coffee without keeping you up at night. Gentle on your system, safe for your heart. The perfect choice for anyone who has been told to cut back on caffeine. It seems like the responsible option. The decaffeination process tells a different story. Most commercial decaffeinated coffees, including Sanka, use chemical solvents to strip caffeine from the beads. The most common solvent is methylene chloride. Yes, the same compound used in paint strippers and industrial degreasers, the same chemical that requires special ventilation when used in manufacturing. That is what is touching your coffee beans. The FDA considers residual methylene chloride levels up to 10 parts per million safe for consumption. But here is what they do not tell you. Methylene chloride has been linked to cognitive impairment, dizziness, and in high exposures, liver and kidney damage. For seniors already managing kidney function or medications processed by the liver, any additional burden matters. Your organs are already working hard. Why add industrial chemicals to their workload? An investigation from the Clean Label Project tested 23 leading decaffeinated coffee brands and found methylene chloride present in several products. While levels were within FDA limits, the question remains, why are we consuming industrial chemicals in our morning coffee When chemical-free alternatives exist, why accept any amount of paint stripper residue in your cup? The Swiss water process is a completely chemical-free method of decaffeinating coffee. It uses only water and activated charcoal to remove caffeine while preserving flavor and eliminating toxic residue. But it is more expensive and time-consuming, so major brands avoid it. Profits come before your health. Sanka chooses the cheaper method. They choose to expose you to residual and death-through chemicals rather than that's a safer process. For seniors with sensitive systems, compromised immune function, or multiple prescription medications, every unnecessary chemical exposure adds up. It accumulates, it compounds. The promise was gentle, safe decaf coffee. The reality involves industrial solvents that your body was never meant to process. Ever noticed how these brands keep having complaints pile up but never seem to change? The same issues year after year. Let us know your thoughts below. And finally, coming in at number 1, the worst instant coffee brand for seniors, we have 8 O'Clock Instant Coffee. The worst instant coffee brand for seniors, we have 8 O'Clock Instant Coffee. 8 O'Clock has been around since 1859. That is over 160 years of history. The brand trades on that heritage, promising tradition, quality, and trustworthy flavor. They market themselves as America's original gourmet coffee. The packaging evokes nostalgia. The name suggests reliability. Over a century of business should mean something, but original does not mean safe. And heritage does not equal testing. 8 O'Clock offers no organic options in their instant line. There is no third-party testing for mold or mycotoxins. There is no certification for pesticide-free sourcing. There is no transparency about their supply chain or quality control processes. 160 years of business and still no commitment to independent verification. For a brand that has been around for over a century, that lack of accountability is troubling. What exactly are they hiding? What do they know that they are not sharing? Instant coffee is particularly vulnerable to contamination because of the extensive processing involved. The beans are roasted, brewed into concentrate, and then either spray-dried or freeze-dried into powder. At each stage, there are opportunities for mold growth, chemical contamination, and quality degradation. Every step is another chance for something to go wrong. Without testing, you have no idea what is actually in that jar. You are trusting a 160-year-old brand something because Lia Bluwand Lontard, but longevity that's not guarantee 60. It just means they have had more time to cut corners, more time to prioritize profits over purity. For seniors, the cumulative effect of daily instant coffee consumption matters enormously. Even small amounts of acrylamide, mycotoxins, or pesticide residue, when consumed every single day for years, add up. They accumulate in your tissues. They stress your liver and kidneys. They contribute to inflammation and chronic disease. Day after day, cup after cup, the damage don'ts. Studies show day cup of distant crop contains roughly 0.damage grams of acrylamide. That may sound small, but the European Food Safety Authority has set the conservative daily limit at 25 micrograms. If you are drinking 4 cups a day, you are already at 3.6 micrograms from coffee alone, before you count French fries, toast, crackers, and every other heated carbohydrate that also contains acrylamide. Your daily exposure adds up faster than you think. 8 O'Clock promises tradition. What they actually deliver is an untested product, riding on a reputation built over a century ago, when we did not know what we know now about contamination, chemicals, and cumulative health risks. Do you think the government protects consumers or the food industry? Safe recommendations. Now, after everything we have covered, you might be wondering if there is any instant coffee worth drinking. The answer is yes, but you have to know where to look. Not all brands cut corners. Some have made safety and transparency their entire mission. The first safe option is Mount Hagen Organic Fair Trade freeze-dried instant coffee. This is hands down one of the safest instant coffees on the market. Here is why it earned that distinction. Mount Hagen is 100% organic. That means no harmful pesticides, herbicides, or inorganic fertilizers were used when growing the beans. For seniors managing chronic conditions or taking multiple medications, eliminating unnecessary chemical exposure is critical. Every chemical you avoid is one less than your body has to process. The coffee is single origin, sourced from Papua New Guinea. Single origin means traceability. You knew exactly where the beans came from, who they were grown, and how they were processed. There is no mixing of questionable batches from unknown sources. No mystery origins, no hidden supply chains. Mount Hagen is fair trade certified, which ensures ethical sourcing and sustainable practices. But more importantly for your health, they use a freeze-dried process rather than spray drying. Freeze-drying preserves more of the coffee's natural antioxidants and produces a cleaner, less processed final product. The gentle process protects what matters. The flavor is mild, smooth, and velvety without bitterness or excessive acidity. Customers consistently report that it tastes like real coffee, not the burnt, metallic flavor of cheaper instant brand. When you open the jar, you smell actual coffee, not chemicals pretending to be coffee. Multiple independent reviews rank Mount Hagen as the best overall instant coffee for health-conscious consumers. It is the choice for people who want convenience without compromising safety. You can have both. For seniors concerned about blood pressure, kidney function, or medication interactions, Mount Hagen removes the variables. You know exactly what you are drinking, and what you are drinking is actually coffee, not a cocktail of chemicals and questionable attitudes. The second recommendation is Purity Coffee Ease Instant. Purity Coffee takes testing to an entirely different level. Every single batch is third-party lab tested for mold, mycotoxins, pesticides, and over 400 chemical compounds before it ever reaches your cup. They test for more contaminants than most coffee companies even know exist. That is not marketing. That is verification. That is proof. They do not ask you to trust them. They show you the results. Purity sources only specialty-grade organic beans grown on regenerative farms. Their processing is specifically designed to optimize antioxidant levels while eliminating contaminants. The result is a clean, smooth, instant coffee that supports your health rather than undermining it. Science and care in every cup. For seniors with mold-sensitive activities, immune issues, or concerns about long-term chemical exposure, Purity removes the guesswork entirely. You have lab results backing up every claim. You have transparency that major brands refuse to provide. When you ask questions, they have answers. The coffee is also low acid, making it gentler on sensitive stomachs and easier on the digestive system. For seniors dealing with acid reflux or GERD, this matters enormously. No more choosing between your morning coffee and your comfort. Yes, Purity costs more than bargain brands, but when you consider what you are actually getting, clean, tested, verified coffee versus mystery products loaded with unknown contaminants, the value becomes clear. You are paying for peace of mind. You are paying for your health. Your health is not worth gambling on untested products. Purity Coffee gives you peace of mind with every cup. That is worth the extra cost. Not all instant coffee is created equal. Some brands are putting your health at risk every single morning without a second thought. Others have done the work to deliver something genuinely safe. Thus you know the difference. Knowledge is protection. Subscribe now, and if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again. Share this with someone you care about, and check your pantry today. Do not risk your health on brands that refuse to test their products. You deserve better. We will show you what to avoid and what is actually worth your trust every single week.